Hello, I'm Alicia Johnson, a psychology student currently studying via correspondence through the University of New England in Armidale, Australia. I want to say a quick thank you for those tuning into my video. If you have clicked on my video, you're most likely interested in types of behavior modification techniques which could be used to stop one's codeine addiction. Whether it be yourself or someone you know, I want to say congratulations on the first step towards quitting codeine. Let me quickly describe what behavior modification is. Behavior modification is a treatment approach based on the principles of operant conditioning that replaces undesirable behaviors with more desirable ones through reinforcing and punishing. Behavior modification uses a scheduled approach that rewards desired behaviors and punishes undesirable behaviors. In our case, it is to change the undesirable behavior of consuming codeine for recreational purposes. We call this the target behavior, as this is the behavior we are observing and this is the behavior we want to change. Let me begin by saying that these techniques have proven successful in many cases. Whether you want to increase the frequency of a desired behavior, such as exercising, eating healthy, or even generating more motivation towards a task, or if you want to decrease the frequency of a behavior, such as consuming codeine, smoking, or even binge drinking. Something which I'd like to make you aware of is that all behavior is lawful. It can be predictable and it's measurable. Behaviors are controlled and influenced by environmental stimuli. We call these factors antecedents. An example of an antecedent for a person who consumes codeine for recreational use may be having a stressful day at work or problems in a relationship. Another common antecedent is having mental health conditions causing anxiety or depression. An antecedent will increase the frequency of the target behavior occurring, the codeine consumption. Just as there is antecedents, the environmental stimuli, there are consequences. What this means is that with every event of a behavior occurring, there is antecedent and there is a consequence. Consequences which are desirable are called a reinforcement. Reinforcements either remove an unwanted stimuli or they provide an enjoyable stimuli. For example, you may be having anxiety about falling asleep because you're worried you may have bad dreams. This would be our antecedent. You may then take codeine, our target behavior. This may then help you calm down and make you feel sleepy. This would be the consequence. In behavior modification, when a psychologist is trying to analyze a behavior, they would perform a functional assessment. In a functional assessment, a psychologist would perform an interview with you first. So with the client or with a team of people, if it is a child, such as with the parents, teachers, or school counsellor. And they would do this to generate potential antecedents and consequences to be able to hypothesize on what is contributing to the behavior. An individual would generally be then assigned to observe the behavior to generate the correct hypothesis. However, in our case, the observer would be yourself, and obviously it would be difficult for me to perform an interview with you. So you would then self-monitor yourself. We call this self-monitoring. After an interview, a functional behavior assessment would be performed. This would generate an antecedent behavior consequence chart. So we call this an ABC chart. We use the ABC chart to help conduct a direct assessment of the target behavior. You would then perform the direct assessment. Generally, a sheet of paper with a table would be given to you. The table would contain different variables to measure and to be able to help analyze the frequency of the behavior. You would record the date and the time of each event the behavior occurred, the activity you were doing, who was present with you, if that's applicable, how you were feeling before you consumed the codeine, and how you were feeling after. This form of assessment should continue for about 7 days. We call this the baseline, as it will begin the basis measurements of the behavior to begin the intervention. You will find a link below in the description of this video for examples of an ABC chart and additional information on how to use it. Before I continue on, I just want to quickly mention that it is important for you to contact your GP to let them know of your goal of quitting codeine and to let you be aware of the withdrawals that you may potentially go through. In the intervention, goals would be set to help reduce the behavior and to generate healthier alternatives. For example, if you were consuming 16 tablets of codeine a day, this might gradually be reduced by halving your intake every 2 days, beginning at 8 and then 4, to eventually the goal of 0 intake is reached. It is always important to set a goal date. Principles are then put in place during this time to help reduce the target behavior. One useful technique would be differential reinforcement of low rates of behavior, or simply easier called the DRL. DRL is the delivery of reinforcement such as praise from a counselor or family member. Praise will be given when the number of responses in a specific period of time is less than or equal to an agreed limit. In other words, if you had set your goal to reduce your consumption to 8 tablets a day and you consumed 8 or less, praise would be given. Reinforcers and praise should be given on a day-to-day basis. It is also important to give praise even if the goal hasn't been met, because praise should be given for at least trying. The good thing about praise is that it can be given in many different ways and it doesn't always have to be verbal. Also, it is important for me to mention that your self-monitoring goals are highly important, as it is you who wants to make the change and it is you who can make the change. During the intervention, you would still record the frequency of your codeine consumption using the same chart issued that was given during the base week. To assist with quitting your codeine consumption, you can remove antecedents and triggers. For example, if you find that you are taking codeine because you have anxiety about a social event or about going to bed alone, you could partake in anxiety and stress relief activities to help reduce the anxiety. One fantastic application, which I highly recommend, is MindShift. MindShift is a downloadable app from Google Play, and it offers tools to help face and manage your anxiety and chill out tools to reduce it. There are also tools for inspiration and tools to help shift your thought process. Again, I do highly recommend this app, and you will be able to find a link to it below. Another technique you could use is urge surfing. When you get that urge or that feeling to take codeine, you can use urge surfing to help kick back the cravings. An example of urge surfing would be to partake in a 5-minute activity such as watching a short video or playing a game to help distract the mind of its thoughts. Other urge surfing activities could include controlled breathing or even counting backwards. I do hope you found some use in this video, and I do encourage you to not give up, and good luck on your mission and good luck on your goals. Thank you.